Imagine discovering that pirates created the first global communication network centuries before the internet, telegraph, or even postal service. While European governments struggled to send messages between their own colonies, pirates were sharing real-time intelligence across 3 oceans, with a sophistication that would make modern tech companies jealous. We're talking about a communication system so advanced that pirates knew about Spanish treasure fleets leaving Seville before the ships had even cleared the harbor. They could coordinate attacks across thousands of miles of ocean, share market intelligence about which ports were paying top prices for different goods, and even send personal messages between crew members on opposite sides of the world. This wasn't just shouting between ships or hoping messages in bottles would wash up somewhere useful. Pirates developed a complex network involving coded flag signals, secret symbols carved into trees, hidden message drops in taverns, and a chain of informants that stretched from London to Madagascar to the Caribbean. They essentially created the first social media platform. Except instead of sharing cat videos, they were sharing information about which ships to rob and which ports to avoid. But here's what's going to absolutely blow your mind. This pirate communication network was so effective that governments started copying it, and many of the systems pirates invented became the foundation for modern maritime communication, international intelligence networks, and even some of the protocols we use for internet communication today. To understand how incredible the pirate communication network was, you need to picture the world in the 16th and 17th centuries, when sending a message from Europe to the Caribbean took months. And that was only if your ship didn't sink, get captured, or sail off course. Most people lived their entire lives without receiving news from more than 50 miles away, and governments operated with information that was often 6 months out of date. But pirates needed real-time information to survive. They had to know which ships were carrying valuable cargo, which ports had weak defenses, where naval patrols were operating, and which governors could be bribed. Operating with outdated information meant sailing into traps, missing valuable targets, or attacking ships that were already empty. For pirates, communication wasn't just convenient. It was the difference between wealth and death. So they created what historians now call the Pirate Information Exchange, a network that connected every major port in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. This network could transmit complex information faster than any government system of the time, and it did so using a combination of ingenious low-tech solutions and surprisingly sophisticated organizational methods. The backbone of this network was what pirates called the Brotherhood of the Coast, not just a romantic phrase, but an actual organizational structure that created standardized communication protocols across different pirate crews, nationalities, and languages. Pirates from different countries who couldn't speak each other's languages could still share crucial information using the standardized system. The network operated on 3 levels: ship-to-ship communication for immediate tactical needs, port-to-port intelligence sharing for strategic planning, and long-distance messaging for coordination across ocean basins. Each level used different methods and had different security protocols, creating a redundant system that was incredibly difficult for authorities to shut down. What made this network truly revolutionary was its decentralized structure. Unlike government communication systems that relied on official channels and could be disrupted by attacking key points, the pirate network had no central authority or single point of failure. If one route was compromised, information could flow through dozens of alternative channels. The most visible part of the pirate communication network was their flag signaling system, which was far more complex than the simple skull and crossbones that Hollywood shows us. Pirates developed a sophisticated visual language using flags, sail configurations, and ship positioning that could communicate detailed information across miles of ocean with remarkable precision. The basic system started with what pirates called recognition signals. Specific combinations of flags that identified friendly ships, indicated the nationality and allegiance of the captain, and showed whether a ship was operating under legitimate articles or had gone rogue. This was crucial because pirates needed to distinguish between potential allies, neutral traders, and enemy warships from distances too great for verbal communication. But the flag system went far beyond simple identification. Pirates developed coded sequences that could communicate complex information about recent encounters, cargo intelligence, weather conditions, and tactical situations. A specific sequence of flag raises and lowerings could tell another pirate ship that Spanish treasure galleons had been sighted 3 days east, that the local governor had increased patrols, or that a particular port was offering good prices for captured goods. The most ingenious part of the flag system was its use of false flags and misdirection. Pirates would display legitimate merchant or naval flags to avoid detection, but they embedded subtle signals within these disguises that other pirates could recognize. A merchant flag flown at a slightly wrong angle, or a naval pennant displayed in an unusual position, could communicate crucial information while appearing completely normal to non-pirates. Different pirate crews developed regional variations of the flag system, but they maintained compatibility through what historians call signal books, handwritten guides that were closely guarded secrets within the pirate community. These books contained hundreds of different signals, covering everything from tactical commands to social information like upcoming gatherings or changes in leadership. The flag system also included temporal elements. The same flag sequence could mean different things depending on the time of day, the season, or the phase of the moon. This created a layered security system where even if someone learned part of the code, they couldn't interpret messages without understanding the timing protocols. Pirates also used their flag system for what we would now call social networking. Ships could signal personal greetings to specific crew members on other vessels, share information about mutual friends, or even arrange marriages between crew members who might not see each other for years. Beyond ship-to-ship communication, pirates created a land-based intelligence network that would make modern spy agencies envious. This network operated through a chain of informants, message drops, and coded communications that could move information across continents faster than any official government system. The foundation of this network was the taverns, brothels and markets in every major port where pirates conducted business. These establishments weren't just places to spend money, they were intelligence hubs where information was bought, sold, and traded like any other commodity. Tavern keepers, prostitutes, merchants, and dock workers all participated in this information economy, earning extra income by passing along useful intelligence. Pirates developed an elaborate system of dead drops, hidden locations where messages could be left for retrieval by other pirates. These drops were concealed in everything from hollow trees to false bottoms in water barrels to secret compartments in church pews. The locations were indicated by subtle marks carved into buildings, specific arrangements of objects, or coded graffiti that looked like random scratches to outsiders. The most sophisticated part of the intelligence network was its use of legitimate business as cover for pirate communication. Pirates would establish themselves as merchants, ship captains, or port officials, using their legitimate positions to gather and transmit information. A pirate posing as a tobacco merchant could learn about shipping schedules, cargo manifests, and naval patrol routes while conducting apparently normal business transactions. Pirates also recruited informants within government and naval organizations. Corrupt officials, disgruntled sailors, and financially desperate clerks would sell information about military movements, treasure shipments, and anti-piracy operations. This network was so extensive that pirates often knew about government plans before the plans were fully implemented. The intelligence network included a sophisticated courier system, where trusted individuals would carry messages between distant ports. These couriers weren't obviously connected to piracy. They might be traveling merchants, missionary priests, or even ship's captains conducting legitimate business. Messages were hidden in cargo, sewn into clothing, or written in invisible ink made from lemon juice or other common substances. Pirates even developed early forms of what we now call data encryption. Important messages were written in codes that looked like shipping manifests, religious texts, or personal letters. A message about an upcoming attack might be disguised as a recipe for cooking fish, with ingredients and cooking times representing ship positions and timing for the assault. The pirate communication network included counterintelligence operations that were remarkably sophisticated for their time. Pirates had to protect their information from government spies while also preventing rival pirate groups from intercepting their communications, leading to the development of security protocols that wouldn't look out of place in a modern intelligence agency. Pirates used multiple layers of coded communication, starting with simple substitution ciphers, where letters were replaced with symbols, numbers, or other letters. But they quickly developed more sophisticated methods, including book ciphers, where messages referenced specific words on specific pages of commonly available books like the Bible or popular novels. Only someone with the right book and the knowledge of which edition to use could decode these messages. One of the most ingenious pirate codes was the cargo manifest cipher, where coded messages were hidden within seemingly legitimate shipping documents. A manifest listing, 20 barrels of salt pork, 15 casks of rum, 8 bales of tobacco, might actually be communicating ship positions, timing for an attack, and the number of crew members involved. To anyone not familiar with the code, it looked like normal commercial paperwork. Pirates also developed personal identifier systems to prevent infiltration by government agents. These systems included shared knowledge of specific events, people, or locations that only genuine pirates would know, along with physical signals like specific tattoos, scars, or ways of tying knots. Someone claiming to be a pirate would be tested with seemingly casual questions or requests that revealed whether they were legitimate. The network included early forms of message authentication, where important communications included specific words, phrases, or symbols that verified they came from legitimate sources. Forged messages could be detected by the absence of these authentication markers, preventing enemies from spreading false information through the pirate network. Pirates even practiced what we now call information compartmentalization, where different levels of the organization had access to different types of intelligence. Lower-level pirates might know about local shipping schedules, but wouldn't have information about long-term strategic plans. This prevented the entire network from being compromised if individual members were captured and interrogated. The most advanced pirate groups developed emergency protocols for when their communication networks were discovered by authorities. These protocols included ways to quickly change codes, establish new communication routes, and warn other members of the network about compromised elements. Some pirate organizations could completely restructure their communication systems within weeks of a security breach. The pirate communication network didn't just disappear when the golden age of piracy ended. It evolved into systems that became the foundation for modern maritime communication, international intelligence operations, and even some aspects of internet technology. The principles that pirates developed for secure, decentralized communication across vast distances are still used today in ways that most people never realize. Maritime signal flags, still used by ships worldwide, are directly descended from the pirate flag system. The International Code of Signals, used by modern navies and merchant vessels, includes many elements that can be traced back to pirate communication protocols. The idea of using visual signals to communicate complex information across distances became standard practice for all maritime operations. The intelligence-gathering techniques that pirates pioneered influenced the development of modern spy networks. The use of legitimate businesses as cover for intelligence operations, the recruitment of informants within target organizations, and the establishment of secure communication networks in hostile territory all became standard practices for intelligence agencies. Even more surprisingly, some principles of internet communication can be traced back to pirate networks. The idea of decentralized communication that can route around damaged or compromised nodes, the use of multiple redundant pathways for important information, and the development of protocols that allow different types of systems to communicate with each other all have parallels in pirate communication methods. The pirate approach to information security also influenced modern cryptography and data protection. The use of multiple layers of encryption, the importance of authentication to prevent false messages, and the development of systems that could quickly change security protocols when compromised all became foundational principles for modern digital security. Perhaps most importantly, pirates demonstrated that effective communication networks could be built and maintained by decentralized organizations without central authority or massive resources. This proved that small, motivated groups could create communication systems that outperformed much larger, better-funded government operations through innovation, cooperation, and clever use of available technology. Today, when you send an encrypted message over the internet, use maritime signal flags, or read about intelligence operations that use legitimate businesses as cover, you're using techniques that were first perfected by pirates who needed to coordinate robberies across 3 oceans. The global communication network that pirates created out of necessity became the template for how information moves around the world in the modern era. The pirates who developed these systems probably never imagined that their methods for planning attacks on Spanish treasure ships would influence how people send emails and text messages centuries later. But their innovation in creating secure, efficient, long-distance communication under difficult conditions solved problems that remain relevant in our interconnected world. In the end, pirates didn't just steal gold and silver, they stole the future of global communication and made it their own, leaving us with systems and principles that continue to shape how information flows around the world today.